Hi, my name's Travis. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good, Travis. What's on your mind?
Hey, man, so I have two questions for you. I'll be really brief. First one is, I'm curious to hear your take on why Donna Brazile decided to come out with this now. I know she has a book coming out, but she's been pretty unrepentant about the whole CNN scandal up until this point, right? So, like, it seems weird that she's now trying to get in the good graces of the Bernie wing of the party. And my second question is, I'm in Virginia. We have a gubernatorial race coming up.
That's a hell of a race.
I was planning on voting, and I was planning on voting a straight Democratic ticket because the other, the other side of that is just pretty horrible.
Yeah.
What would you, in the wake of all of this, I mean, would you still say go ahead and do that? I mean, what would your advice be on that? I mean, I was already disillusioned with the party to begin with, and this is just, putting a nail in the coffin a little bit in some ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's your name again?
Travis.
Okay. Thanks for the call, Travis. I'm going to answer that off air so I can clear up the lines. So I'm going to start with the one that's important. The race in Virginia. Ed Gillespie versus Frank. His last name skips my mind right now. But that race is important because you have Ed Gillespie, who is 100% pandering to the Klan. He's pandering to white supremacy. He's pandering to the KKK, right? He's pandering to the Confederacy is what I'm looking for. One second, just ordering my new drink. Okay, sorry. And so it's very, and I'm sorry for interrupting it because it's really important. I swear the race in Virginia is super important. And this is the sad news, guys. This is the sad news that I was aware of this, but the extent to which it is true was magnified by the results that the Green Party got. In a full-on revolution, Democratic exit, resistance against the DNC. I mean, we were at the DNC carrying, I wasn't, but I was capturing it on film. They were carrying a coffin with DNC written on it. You had thousands of people revolting against the DNC, actively on the floor, resisting, shouting down. I mean, they had to bring in white noise to cancel out the noise in entire sections because of a full-on rebellion against the DNC. In that environment, the Green Party got less than 1% of the national vote. The Green Party, in the presence of a national revolution against the DNC, was still only able to capture 1% of the vote. Why do I bring that up in light of the race in Virginia? It's because of what Travis said at the end. He said that that this was kind of the nail in the coffin for the DNC. Well, I will explain why that shouldn't be the case, but here's why. Here's the important thing. If you want to have a progressive future of any type right now, and you could call me in and challenge me on this, please do. We could debate about this all day long. Right now, I do not see any national party. Maybe you could do it on your local level, and if you can, absolutely do it. But I don't see anybody poised to push back against the onslaught from the Republican Party. Nobody besides the DNC. And if you feel, I'm going to pull your card here. If you feel that it's okay for the Republican Party in the current state that it is in to continue doing what they want to do and gaining ground on every issue that's important to us, then you're not really progressive. You're not really progressive as much as you're just anti-DNC. Because I can't sit by and just nod my head and say, see, I told you so, DNC. I told you, DNC. I told you y'all were going to lose. And just kind of have this big circle jerk of I told you so with other progressives. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is getting ready to cut taxes in a way that's going to eviscerate every program that we ever wanted. If you ever wanted Medicare for all, forget about it because he's gutting Medicare. He's cutting $1 trillion. He's going to add $1 trillion to the deficit, and then they're going to use that as an excuse to cut even more from Medicare. So forget about Medicare for all. Forget about anything that you ever wanted to do as a progressive. Forget about it for generations, because now you're going to get judges that are on Ruth Bader Ginsburg is only going to be able to last so long, man. She's not immortal. I wish she was, but she's not. And so Donald Trump is going to get another appointment to the Supreme Court. And so we cannot afford to just sit by. Thanks, babe. We cannot afford to sit by and stay in revolution mode against the DNC when we do not have a viable option, a viable replacement. And this is what ticks me off about the Green Party so much. What ticks me off about the Green Party so much is that we actually do need another option. But I mean, 1%, less than 1% of the national vote in the presence of a full-on rebellion. So I went the long way around to say this. The race in Virginia is vitally important. Vote against Ed Gillespie. Vote against him because he is literally out there pandering to the Klan, talking about the big difference between he and his opponent, whose name just escapes me right now. And I'm going to look it up while we talk. The difference is that he's going to keep up the monuments, the Confederate monuments, and protect their heritage, as if that's the most important thing, right? Number one, as if that's the most important thing. But number two, as if that's the right side of history to be on. And that's just the entry level stuff, right? He's going to bring the same style tax structure to Virginia. He's going to bring the same style healthcare structure that Donald Trump wants to Virginia. We cannot neglect the fact that these state races are just as important as a national race. And while this article, and I can answer your first question with this, this article to some seems to be confirmation that the DNC was corrupt and all these things.